hear me okay? Hi, Emily. Hi, Kai. So, here we are. I'm really happy to see everyone. And I'd like to start out by asking, how are you? How are we all doing in this vibration of chaos, if you will? I know there's a lot of pain and confusion out there. Fear, anger, all of it. How are you holding it all, huh?
I'm really tired. I don't know if it's from marching so much or seeing the injustices, the pure indignity for human life over and over again. 8 minutes. George Floyd's entire existence, a man's life, was suffocated out of him for 8 minutes. A Navy SEAL can hold his breath for only 3 minutes. So 8 minutes of torture? I guess I'm just so tired.
I march with you and for you, Kai. Been marching since 1965. Won't ever stop. Emily, I see your hand raised.
Hi everyone. It's been scary. Both my mom and my dad are in the business of law enforcement, and I'm watching it bring out the worst in people I love and idolize, but also the best in some others. So I'm like scared and confused, but also hopeful all at the same time.
Emily, thank you for sharing. So important. Lincoln, I see you.
We were discussing in my business communications class that those 8 minutes watching George Floyd's murder seems to have broken the threshold of tolerance for everyone. All ages and races, and that's why we're seeing what we're witnessing. Professor, you mentioned you've been marching since 1965. Were you at Selma?
Yes, I was. All 3 Selma marches. Every 54-mile step and all that came with it. Changed my insides and changed policy. My best friend lost his life in the march. You know, when you get to be my age, you realize every single time you advocate, it's not only for the present crises at hand, but for all the global crises that have been waged, endured. Every single genocide, every bombing, every famine, every violation of human rights. Each step I take on a march is for a human being who has died at the hands of injustice. You know what? This is too important, so I'd like to invite us all after class for a more in-depth, participatory discussion on how the heck you're all doing. We need to be here for each other. I'll extend the class afterwards and to give us time to be together and share. Right now, let's all just take a deep breath. Let me say, what we are living in right now has been brought back to management and can be brought back to management. If anyone has any doubt that our current affairs is not caused by mismanagement, even bad management, I ask that you keep an open mind, and perhaps we can see some correlations. Okay, principles of management. First off, let's define management.
Well, it's about holding it all together, eh? Dominating with strong leadership, control, success, respect. Getting what you want by whatever means necessary, right? Whatever you need to get the job done. Survival of the fittest.
Okay, I'm wondering if perhaps you think this is an example.
Your only responsibility is to put meat on the table. You got a girlfriend?
I'm married. I have a wife. Her name's Teresa. She cuts hair.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Think about Teresa. Name of the game, move the money from your client's pocket into your pocket.
Right, but if you can make a client's money at the same time, it's advantageous to everyone, correct?
No. Number one rule of Wall Street. Nobody, I don't care if you're Warren Buffett or if you're Jimmy Buffett, nobody knows if the stock is going to go up, down, sideways, circles. Least of all stockbrokers. Right? It's all a fugazi. You know what a fugazi is?
Fugazi. It's fake.
Yeah, fugazi. It's a wazi, it's a woozy, it's a fairy dust. It doesn't exist. It's never landed. It is no matter. It's not on the elemental chart. It's not real.
Right.
All right?
Right.
Stay with me. Mm-hmm. We don't create shit. We don't build anything.
No.
So if you got a client who bought stock at 8 and it now sits at 16 and he's happy, he wants to cash in, liquidate, take money and run home, you don't let him do that.
Okay.
Because that would make it real.
Right.
No, what do? You get another brilliant idea, a special idea, another situation, another stock to reinvest his earnings and then some. And he will every single time because they're fucking addicted. And then you just keep doing this again and again and again. Meanwhile, he thinks he's getting shit rich, which he is on paper. But you and me, the brokers, we're taking home cold hard cash via commission.
Right. That's incredible, sir.
I love that guy.
Let's keep in mind that advice put the gentleman at the table, Jordan Belfort, in prison for 22 months. Anyone else?
I mean, that's one way, yeah, but probably not going to make too many friends and followers with that attitude.
Who said anything about friends? Managers do not need friends.
In keeping with the dignity and respect of the class, please, no interruptions when someone is speaking. And when I say dignity, I mean we are going to acknowledge each other's inherent value. Go ahead, Lincoln.
Oh yeah. Management. I don't really know how I would define management. Leadership, confidence. What I do know is my parents really wanted me to be at this school, in this class. So I guess you could say they managed me right into this seat. But whatever. Just make the best of it and get through. Have a laugh along the way. Meet people, party, don't fail out. Post, repost.
Thank you for your honesty with that, Lincoln. Yes, my parents desperately wanted me to be in Dr. Scrub, so I identify with you. Mackie?
My friends, let's give ourselves more credit than this. A leader is best when people barely know he exists. When his work is done, his aim fulfilled, they will say, we did it ourselves.
Thank you for that quote, Mackie. Seems to be in line with the importance of the team aspect of management, which we will be getting further into each week.
It sounds like the Invisible Man movies or something.
Again, with what I just mentioned regarding interruptions, I'd like us all to lean in and listen to what's being said. Deep listening. We don't have to swing at every pitch.
Yeah, my bad.
Rose, would you like to add anything?
No, I am.
Hey, could you unmute yourself?
Dude.
You're good, Rose.
Oh, sorry.
You are unmuted, so no need to do anything with your audio. If you might just speak up a bit so we can hear your voice, that would be great. Thank you.
Well, I don't have anything really to say. But, well, I read in one of my books, Understanding Management, it says that management is the attainment of organizational goals in an effective and efficient manner through planning, organizing, leading, and controlling organizational resources. And well, I just think that makes a lot of sense. But I'm not gonna say anything. I'll stop now.
Thank you for that, Rose. Yes, effectiveness and efficiency have been the traditional economistic way we have learned about management. Effectiveness is the criteria that allows us to understand whether we achieve what we want to achieve. Efficiency is the criteria that allows us to understand how we achieve it. But there's another model. A humanistic model of management which includes another E, the mother of all E's, ethics, moral principles. And why?
Huh?
Is it Y or E?
Why are we managing in the first place? What is it teaching us? Is something missing? So we're trying to attain organizational goals. Yes. What goals? Why? I'll ask you to think about that while watching this next clip. Greta Thunberg, 16 years old. Here's her march.
My message is that we'll be watching you. This is all wrong. I shouldn't be up here. I should be back in school on the other side of the ocean. Yet you all come to us young people for hope. How dare you? You have stolen my dreams and my childhood with your empty words, and yet I'm one of the lucky ones. People are suffering. People are dying. Entire ecosystems are collapsing. We are in the beginning of a mass extinction, and all you can talk about is money and fairy tales of eternal economic growth. How dare you? For more than 30 years, the science has been crystal clear. How dare you continue to look away and come here saying that you're doing enough when the politics and solutions needed are still nowhere in sight? You say you hear us and that you understand the urgency. But no matter how sad and angry I am, I do not want to believe that. Because if you really understood the situation and still kept on failing to act, then you would be evil, and that I refuse to believe.
He's got an anger management problem. And the crying? Please. Any manager of mine starts crying, I am out.
Why is that?
But there's no crying in business. You gotta be kidding me. We look like a bunch of jerks.
Do you cry?
Nope.
Never?
No time for tears. This is a business course. You want tears and all that nicey peace and love stuff? Walk to the poetry building.
Tears are a form of prayer.
I'm not trying to undermine her or be a downer, but she'll never make it in the real world. Yeah, people will hear her out and she'll get some likes, but deep down, we all know she'd never make it as a manager.
Says who?
History? The world? She's not going to change it as much as she wants to. Look at what's happening out there right now. What Kai said in the beginning of class. Has anything really changed? Yeah, it's sad, but it's been this way forever.
Rose?
Huh? Well, I mean, if you listen to what she was actually saying, she was 100% right in my opinion. I mean, if that makes any sense, I don't know.
You know, what was with the she'll be watching us? Was that a threat? Because I don't take the threats.
It seemed like she was basically blaming the rich for everything gone wrong.
She said that people were dying and suffering and entire ecosystems were failing. I see the effect of an efficient death and destruction, but where are the ethics that the professor is talking about? I mean, where are the leaders? Don't they have any ethical responsibility?
Wow.
She said we stole her childhood. Your children are not your children. They are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself.
I'm impressed with the way we're dialoguing here. I have another clip for us to watch, so let's take a look.
Living systems have been around for a few billion years and will be around for many more. In the living world, there's no landfill. Instead, materials flow. One species' waste is another's food, energy is provided by the sun, things grow, then die, and nutrients return to the soil safely. And it works. Yet as humans, we've adopted a linear approach. We take, we make, and we dispose. A new phone comes out, so we ditch the old one. Our washing machine packs up, so we buy another. Each time we do this, we're eating into a finite supply of resources and often producing toxic waste. It simply can't work long term. So what can? If we accept that the living world's cyclical model works, can we change our way of thinking so that we too operate a circular economy? Let's start with the biological cycle. How can our waste build capital rather than reduce it? By rethinking and redesigning products and components, and the packaging they come in, we can create safe and compostable materials that help grow more stuff. As they say in the movies, no resources have been lost in the making of this material. So what about the washing machines, mobile phones, fridges? We know they don't biodegrade. Here, we're talking about another sort of rethink, a way to cycle valuable metals, polymers, and alloys so they maintain their quality and continue to be useful beyond the shelf life of individual products. What if the goods of today became the resources of tomorrow? It makes commercial sense. Instead of the throw away and replace culture we've become used to, we'd adopt a return and renew one, where products and components are designed to be disassembled and regenerated. One solution may be to rethink the way we view ownership. What if we never actually owned our technologies? We simply licensed them from the manufacturers. Now, let's put these two cycles together. Imagine if we could design products to come back to their makers, their technical materials being reused and their biological parts increasing agricultural value. And imagine that these products are made and transported using renewable energy. Here we have a model that builds prosperity long term. And the good news is, there are already companies out there who are beginning to adopt this way of working. But the circular economy isn't about one manufacturer changing one product. It's about all the interconnecting companies that form our infrastructure and economy coming together. It's about energy. It's about rethinking the operating system itself.
Ram?
Yeah. Same thing Greta Thunderbolt or whatever you call it was saying,
Her
right?
name is Greta Thunberg.
Let's continue, please, on to the last clip. Lincoln.
I just don't understand how this is possible. I mean, you're telling me this hasn't been done yet? It's so simple. You have a washing machine or a car or whatever. You're done with it. You give it back to who made it so that they can make something else. I mean, what am I missing?
I think people have been trying to do better for a really long time. It just seems like the ones with the loudest voice and the most money always wins. Does that make sense?
Makes sense to me.
I don't know. There must be ways to manage with the same kind of compassion for mankind that Greta Thunberg has and make money.
Whoa, I like the last part of that sentence. Huh?
I mean, in some non-for-profits or artistic venues, but not in real business. I just think we're kidding ourselves to think it's doable.
Mackie, you've been a bit quiet.
Sometimes Mother Owl says the less you say, more people remember.
And a wise one was she. Want to add anything regarding the last film clip that we watched?
Such greed, such waste. I couldn't help but think of our gentle Savior's quote from Mark 8:36. For what will profit a man if he gains the whole world and loses his soul?
Loses his soul. We covered a lot today. There's so much more. Discussions that will be uncomfortable but necessary. It'll be messy and difficult, but we can do difficult things. We can be uncomfortable and stay. I'd like us to end today's class asking that question again. Why? Why are we managing? Why are we facing these massive problems as humanity? Why is the economic model what it is? Why hasn't it changed? Then we're going to think about those E's: effectiveness, efficiency, ethics. Let's talk about that more next class. Job well done. Like I said, I'm here for all of you to share with each other about today's world outside. Kai, Emily, Rams, you are all welcome.
Thank you.
I'll be here.
Thank you, Professor.
Stick around.